This will finish it!
Hey, what's up, YouTube? You know what I hate? The word cheesy being thrown around everywhere. How I define cheesy is unfair, and people are saying Sparking Zero is the most cheesy game ever. I got someone in my comments one time saying, oh, why are you playing this cheesy game? Blah, 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 blah. It's all cheese. Play a real competitive fighter like Marvel vs. Capcom. And it's like, bro, just because a game is a competitive fighter or whatever doesn't mean it doesn't have its cheesy tactics. I played Marvel vs. Capcom. I know Marvel vs. Capcom is very cheesy. There are invincible setups. There are true unblockables. There are infinite combos. The reason why I'm so good at Sparking Zero is because the cheese is so easy to get over. In Marvel vs. Capcom, the cheese is impossible. Once you get opened up, you're done for. So it's so funny people like to say, oh, this isn't a real competitive fighter. The cheese is too crazy in this game. And it's just like, in other competitive fighters, there is real cheese, like bad cheese. With that being said, I don't think Sparking Zero is a cheesy game at all. Again, I define cheesy as unfair. Is it really unfair when the strongest mechanics, right, also have the biggest weaknesses? So let's say you're going up against a giant character that has super armor. Of course, if you take your 2 DP Master Roshi and try to fight him, it's not going to work. But if you take your 10 DP Gogeta and fight a giant character, you're going to wipe him easy. So just as strong as some of these metas can be, they are just as weak as they are strong. There's a reason you never see giant characters in singles battle, because everyone's using a 10 DP character. And giant characters, as strong as they are, they get hard countered by high DP characters. And that's not to say that I don't think Sparking Zero needs any updates. I think Sparking Zero needs a lot of updates, but I don't think it really needs all the updates that everyone is saying. Like, oh, we need to nerf giant characters into the ground. We need to nerf 2 DP characters. And it's just like, if we do that, then there are going to be people who complain that, oh, all these weak characters, they're useless now. Like, what's the point? I get downed in one engagement. You have to understand that these characters have one strong suit, but you could counter them easily. And that's all it is, just one strong suit. And you could counter them. If you take away and you nerf that one strong suit, then you're just killing the variety in the cast. Right now, I'm very happy with the variety in DP battle. I'm not happy with the variety in singles battle because it's more one-dimensional. Since DP battle is multi-dimensional, there's a huge variety, especially with the meta evolving and with people learning how to counter certain characters. The variety has increased a lot. I've been seeing so many adult Gohan players now, probably because of me. I'm flattered if it is. I don't know if it's because of me, but I'm seeing so many more adult Gohan characters because people are realizing, oh, certain characters could hard counter other characters. And that's the name of this game, right? It's so people are so quick to not think of counters. Instead, they want to say it's cheesy when it's really not. The best analogy I could think of or comparison I could think of is think of Pokemon, right? In Pokemon, each Pokemon has its own typing, its own archetype. Let's say you take a grass and steel type like Ferrothorn and you put him up against Charizard, who is a fire type. Fire type attacks have 4 times more damage when they're used against a grass and steel type. And then let's say you get hit by that as a Ferrothorn player, and then your response to it is, oh my god, that's so cheesy. No, it's not cheesy. You just made a stupid decision, and that's okay. And that's most of the Sparking Zero crowd, is that you're making really bad decisions without realizing there are character archetypes in this game. And I'm going to put a cheat sheet on how to counter all the metas I've come across. And you could screenshot it. I'm also going to put a link in the description so you guys could see it and read it. It's pretty in-depth, though. It's how I see it. It might evolve. There might be a lot more counters than what I'm doing, but it's basically what I do when I come across certain archetypes of characters in Sparking Zero. Alright, so in today's video, I'm going to be more so commenting on the meta cheese, or what people believe is the meta cheese. So I'm going up against the Z rank, as you will see. And people say, oh, Z rankers, all they do is cheese to get to the way there. And it's just like, maybe that's true. but cheesing is not the best option, right? I'll show you. Aggression is the best option. His team is full of cheesy stuff. He has Broly for ulti spamming. He has Raccoon for stalling. He has Buff Roshi for more stalling. He has Videl and Pan for after image strike. Buff Roshi could power it down to use after image strike. Right? He's only using Buff Roshi because in case if it comes to a timeout, Buff Roshi has more health. But then if he needs to stall, he could transform to original Roshi and use after image strike. But anyway, you saw I started the round aggressive. I used the super for once because I want to get as much damage as I can on Z Broly. The less health legendary Broly has, the better. But one thing to notice about his combos, he loves using neutral attacks. Right? He loves going for a gut punch. He loves going for the rolling hammer. When he extends his combo, it's a neutral attack. Like right there with Raccoon, that's a neutral attack. So all I have to do is block neutral most of the time and sometimes block low. And he tries to adapt to my combos. The way I do my combos is I'll charge my heavy attacks. I charge almost all of them, and then with that, I go for low sweeps a lot, so block low. But then he tries to adapt to it. Just watch. Okay. Vanish War. He has the key advantage. I do a revenge counter. I see he has 3 skill points. If I don't go for a revenge counter and keep him in the engagement, he will use instant sparking. So I use revenge counter, force him to keep fighting me. I don't want him to switch or use instant sparking. Gets me with a super perception. Also blocked my low sweep earlier. Yup, you see, I'm adapting. I block neutral because I know he goes for neutral attacks a lot. Super perception. I try to go for a switch. My Zarbon is taking a lot of damage, but since he's pressuring me, I can't go for a switch. So for all the people who are complaining about switching, like how powerful switching is, just don't sit back. Pressure the person. Attack the person. So many people say, oh, I want to see hands being thrown. It's so boring, all this super spamming. And it's like, well, okay, play DP, because if they're not pressuring you and throwing hands, then you could switch. And if you're not doing the same thing, then they're going to switch. So the name of the game in DP is play as aggressively as you can. But anyway, as you can see, this is going in slow motion now. I want to slow this down so you guys could see what happens. I stopped doing my stagger combos and I do normal combos because I assume he's going to try to vanish what I do normally. Right? So just watch very carefully. I'm doing normal combos now. He doesn't vanish my vanish because I know he might... Oh, you see that? Look at that. He just spent a key bar. Go back a little bit. You'll see he just spent a key bar. Why? Because he thinks I'm going to hit him with a charged smash attack. So then he uses a key bar to try to use Vanishing Assault to dodge my charged attack. But it doesn't work. He just spent a key bar. That shows me that he is trying to adapt to it, and he stops trying to super counter me. And that is why that whole engagement, he did not get a super counter off, because he was too focused on trying to use Vanishing Assault to counter me. But I read him. I knew he was going to try to adapt, and I just started doing regular combos. I hit one reset in there, but I only hit the reset when I had his back. Okay, gets the transformation off with Broly.
It's time.
Yep, this is what Broly players do. They'll transform when you're close, and then since they transform, they'll get a full key gauge. That's one of the benefits of transforming Broly. And they use that one super, and it costs 5 key bars. So it's a free super if they transform close to you, and it'll do 10k damage. But I switch him out. I switch out Raccoon. I'll gain back that 10k health, whatever. Alright, I switch in Gohan because Gohan is my counter to Broly. Super Saiyan 2 Gohan is my counter to Broly. I super counter him right away. That was a nice super counter. He has key advantage. I don't want him to set up sparking, so I keep him close by using a revenge counter. And I was confident that I had 4 skill points. So I use a revenge counter. He's able to punish me, but then he can't capitalize off of it because I have explosive wave. And now he can't get instant sparking off because revenge countering is keeping him in the engagement. And I'm able to finish him now. And you can see I melted Broly's health bar. Because if you use a 7 DP character that goes through super armor, he becomes very squishy. Super armor is only good against low DP characters, because it'll reduce their damage by a lot and you do a lot of damage. So that's the counter to low DP characters. Use characters like Giants. A lot of people say, oh, Giants are cheesy. But Giants counter low DP characters. People complain about low DP characters because they could switch out so often. Okay, then use characters that hard counter them. And then how do you counter characters with super armor? You just use high DP characters. And then how do you counter high DP characters? Overwhelm them with low DP characters, and then it's a cycle. How do you counter low DP characters? Use characters that are strong and can finish them really quickly. You just saw that whole engagement with Spopovich versus Vidal. I finished Vidal easily. And people want to say 2 DP characters are OP. They're not. They're so squishy. I touched them, they're dead. Okay, I just went on a crazy rant there. Back to the gameplay analysis. I used the explosive wave to get him off of me. We're in a vanish war. He has key advantage. Here's buff Roshi. He lets me switch because he's not pressuring me. You gotta be aggressive. You gotta be more aggressive than that. Hits me with revenge counter. I think he's getting desperate. He's not super countering anymore because he's too focused on trying to dodge my heavy attacks. Because with the way I stagger... Ooh, another neutral block. Alright? But because of the way I stagger my combos, super countering them could be confusing. So a really easy way to counter it would be a sidestep or a vanish. But clearly he's not used to that. Okay. He comes in, does a raw super. I do not agree with that. I don't think raw supers are good. Because let's say he hit that. And then what? You're out of key, you can't come up to me and stop me from switching. So I'm gonna switch. That's why using supers, that's why I rarely use supers, because I need that key to go up to them and be aggressive, otherwise they're gonna switch. Okay, I don't want him to work on a switch either, so I use revenge counter. He was swinging at nothing, so there was my opportunity to switch, but he has after image strike up. And that's fine. You'll notice with these characters that need after image strike, he doesn't use perception with them, so I'm able to open them up so easily when they don't have after image strike up, because these people who use after image strike characters, they're scared of using a super perception because they'll burn 1 skill point, and they need every single skill point they need. Okay, vanish battle. He has key advantage. I use revenge counter to keep him in the engagement again. I don't want him to switch. He's gonna get a switch off anyway soon, because he has after image strike up now. He's quite safe. And this is another thing about 2 DP characters. He just put me in the blender. He just did a whole combo on me. That's less than 10k damage. They do not do any damage. After image strike is done. He should have switched. Oh, he doesn't switch because time was coming up anyway. That's GG, but you can see how I didn't let him get any of his cheesy, quote-unquote cheesy stuff up. I finished his Broly easily. I take advantage of the fact that he's so scared to use his skill points with for his after image strike characters, and then I notice he's spamming perception with his tanky characters. Right? That's usually the case. Tankier characters usually love using their skill points for perception, for super perception. So all you got to do is go up to them, sidestep. I'm not really good at doing that, but you saw I did that before, or once, or so at least once throughout this gameplay. I forget when. Okay, I go for the aggressive move again. He sonic sways me. It seems he's trying to be a little more aggressive too. He hits me with the low sweep, but I hit him with the super counter. I think I have key advantage, yeah. Just by a little bit. Okay, he catches me with that sidestep. I catch him with that vanish. Like I said, you could vanish the heavy attacks. I vanished his gut punch. So as much as I'm looking for super counters, I'm also looking for vanishes. I hit him with the Masenko. I did a lot of damage to him. I'm happy with that engagement. I won that first initial Gohan vs. Broly fight. As I should, because Gohan beats Broly in the movie. I can't say it's a canon event. You can see he went for the vanishing assault again. He just burned a key bar there, which I guess doesn't really matter because Roshi has 3 key bars. But had he not burnt his vanishing assault, this super would have been useful. Look, he has no key now. He can't do anything to me. He can't dash up to me and stop me from switching. Had he not burnt that 1 key bar for vanishing assault, he would have had enough for a Z-burst dash and stop me from switching. And that's why using supers in this game is just like, okay, is it gonna do anything? Because if you use a super and then you don't have key to pressure me, then I'm just gonna switch out and regain that health, and you just wasted a bunch of key. And again, that's why DP battle is so fun to me, because super spamming, ulti spamming is rendered useless if you know how to use the switch mechanic. You have to keep the pressure on me. You want to throw hands, then play DP battle, because that's where you gotta stop all the switching and all the different metas that goes on, the mechanical metas. Throwing hands in DP is the way. Ulti spamming, super spamming, all of that, instant sparking spamming, all of that is for singles battle. Alright, I hit him with the revenge counter because, again, I want to keep him in the engagement. He hits me with the perception gut punch. That was a nice one. He has my back. He's putting my Zarbon in the blender. He is outplaying the Zarbon versus Raccoon right here. He goes into instant sparking. And look at this. He puts me in the blender. I can't get a super counter off. I don't know why. Okay. I get him off me with explosive wave, I mean. He hits me again. And he uses his ultimate. Why? So many people, I noticed this with almost everyone who goes sparking. They feel it is absolutely necessary to use your ultimate, right? If you're running out of sparking time, you must use your ultimate. No, if you if you can't find a way to set up your ultimate, it's fine. Just let your sparking run out. He did 16k damage with those hits, and then he uses his ultimate out of desperation because he doesn't want to quote unquote waste his sparking. When he did his damage in sparking, and then when sparking runs out, had he not used his ultimate, he would have had full key. But because he used his ultimate, I was able to block it easily. He's out of key. I punish him. And because he's out of key, he can't keep pressuring me. I switch out for free. So again, using your ultis, you have to use them intelligently. At least more intelligently in DP than you can in singles. In singles, you use your ulti, you get damage off on them. Damage is damage. But in DP, it's not as simple as that. You gotta take into account whether or not I could switch and whether or not you could stop me from switching. He wins the Vanish War there because he has more ki than I do. And this is the problem with 2 DP characters. Look how much damage I'm doing to him if he doesn't have After Image Strike. And people want to say 2 DP characters are OP. They barely do any damage, and if I touch them, they're nearly dead. Okay, that's fine. He has After Image Strike up. I vanished that super. I tried to punish it, but I forgot After Image Strike is up. Okay, bring out my daughter. It's fine. All the ladies in the house could catch these hands. Gohan is not scared. Okay, I switch into Zarbon because he's not pressuring me enough. Again, you have to keep up the pressure in DP battle. Here I am, just spamming some Ki Blast. I think he used After Image Strike. That's why I was just playing it slow, waiting it out, using my Ki Blasts. I don't vanish that because I'm trash. But he has my Zarbon in red health now. But, like I said earlier, this super is going to be useless. I could switch out. That's why you gotta use your Ki very intelligently. You can't just use a super, think that's free, think I'm not gonna switch after that. So since he used the super, he used 3 Ki bars. He ran out of Ki after that. He can't do anything to me after it. I just switched for free. Sure, he got some damage off on me, but I'm gonna regain that health now. Okay. He's gonna do the Broly thing. Transform and then use the super. You're gonna see my hand is at his throat. My hand was literally there, ready to throat chop him. But Broly is just like, it's gonna be a bloodbath now. Oh man. Broly. Okay. I switch into Gohan. I got my SS2 transformation off earlier on Roshi. Transforming when you're going up against a weaker character is the best because they can't do that much damage to you. And then you can just wait out the switch gauge timer. So that's exactly what I did. I transformed against a weaker character. But you can see, Broly has a full health bar on me. But I'm able to beat him. Look how much damage I'm doing to him. Whenever you use a high DP character on someone who has super armor, they take so much damage. They're super squishy. Very squishy. Very easy to kill. I'm happy with that engagement. I got his Broly to red health. I did a lot of damage to him. He better not bring in that Broly. He's gonna be scared to bring in that Broly now. He doesn't want to lose a character. He doesn't want to lose his character advantage. I hit him with the Perception Gut Punch. I messed up that combo there, so he gets me back. Again, the Zarbon vs. Raccoon here is not the best for me. I bring in Spopovich. You could go sparking. I don't care about Spopovich. Kill him with your ultimate. It's fine. But Spopovich goes crazy. I'm hitting him with the resets. He's not super countering me. He's probably looking for vanishes. I got him to stop super countering. And that's the name of the game. You gotta force your opponents to try to take up a different play style that they're used to. If they're really good, they'll be able to play all different kinds of play styles. They'd be able to play without super countering and look for the vanishes. And then when I start doing normal combos, they could easily go back to doing super counters. I should have used a revenge counter there. He's probably just gonna switch now because revenge countering would have kept him in the engagement. But he doesn't. He's confident that false courage is gonna help him. And you can see how I slowly do my combo. I do it like, I take my time with it. I stun them. I stand there for a second. I hit them again. I stun them again. I reset it. And then I rinse and repeat. Look at that. He doesn't switch his Roshi because time was up. But that's how you stop people from super countering you, is what you would call staggering. It's not the traditional fighting game staggering, right? But this is, you could take super countering as like a form of blocking in Sparking Zero. And if you stagger your combos, you're going to avoid that specific form of blocking. Because staggering in a traditional sense is like pestering your opponent with your normal attack and trying to get them to stop blocking. And once you get them to stop blocking, you can open them up with a combo.
You're still alive?
And in this game, it's more so just hitting them with a stun, wait a second so you're unpredictable, hit them again, and then stun them again. And then what I do is I reset them. Okay, he hits me with a fully charged gut punch. Gets me in the air. I recover from those. It's fine. How you recover from getting hit with those hard knockdowns is you gotta flick your joystick up, down and up. Down and up. Once you see your body is twirling in the air like a little ballerina, you flick it down and up. But you can see there, if you go back 5 seconds, you can see I was spamming him with charged ki blasts. That's to stop him from transforming. If I pester him with ki blasts, he won't be able to get his transform panel up. It'll keep canceling. And that's why he was just standing still for that charged ki blast engagement. Because he's trying to transform. And here I am, I'm pressuring him. I'm not allowing him to transform. I force him to use a wild sense because Broly is getting low health. And if you could force people who depend on their skill points to transform and stuff, you could force them to use their skill points, that is great. Now I took away his skill points. He could transform if he wants, but he won't have instant sparking the next time Broly comes out. And he probably won't come out because I got him to red health. And now he's depending on these other weaker characters. Super perception. Yep, I back off and switch. Hit him with the Sonic Sway. Yep, I tried to do a sidestep because I thought he was gonna hold perception there, but he didn't. Okay, he hits me with a revenge counter. He doesn't want me to knock him back for whatever reason. It doesn't matter if I knock you back. I'm gonna come back and pressure you. I'm not the type to try to set anything up. Very rarely. The only thing I would need to set up is my ki charging. That's the only thing I try to set up because that's my way of gaining more ki. Okay, he brings in Pan. That's fine. Let's see what he does with Pan. Nope. I know you love to use neutral attack, so I'm able to block the neutral attacks easily. He does a raw super. He just spent all his ki bar. That's fine. Doesn't use after image strike just yet. So here I am, putting him in the blender. I'm doing regular combos now because I know he's looking for the vanishes and all of that. So I do regular combos. You could go back to mashing your super counter if you want. If you do, I'm gonna go back to doing my resets. He gets his after image strike up, and as soon as he gets it up, he needs to switch because I did enough damage. You should be able to do enough damage to a 2 DP character before they even gain enough skill points to use their after image strike. But the exception is that they do start with 2 skill points, so you need to stop them from gaining 1 skill point, or damage them enough before they gain 1 skill point. Okay, here comes Pan. That was a bad switch because Pan was not done regenerating her health. Okay, oh my god, she's so short that my low sweep completely missed. But you can see how I'm staggering my combos. I'm not just finishing my combos and being predictable with it. Okay, there's the super counter. Now I know he's back to doing super counters. But I was already on my way to going back to doing my reset combos and staggering him. But since I saw he's doing the super counter, okay. Here's a combo. I tried doing a reset, but then I messed up the inputs. Here comes the resets again, since I saw he's doing super counters. Oh, there's proof. He's doing super counters again. Hit him with the Sonic Sway. I use that to set up opening with Zebra Stash. Think I have key advantage here. Doesn't matter. I knock him back. He uses revenge counter. We stay in the engagement. He had key advantage there, so I didn't want him to knock me back with revenge. Knock me back, so I use a revenge counter. And also, something you should notice with a revenge counter is that if you successfully last a revenge counter hit, you will gain a key bar. And maybe they'll punish you, but then if you get a super counter off after that, you'll probably have key advantage because revenge counter gave you some key. So it could be this massive back and forth. Or a way that you could win these Vanish Wars by gaining key advantage with revenge counter. Unless he has massive key advantage, then it won't matter. I use high tension. High tension is probably the best buff in the game because it gives you 2 key bars. And the reason why I wanted to use it against Pan is because it gives me extra key to deal with after image strike. Here's the Raccoon vs Zarbon fight that I'd be struggling with. So I switch out to my own Raccoon. He uses instant sparking. Let's see what he does with it. Oh, the combo dropped for him. That's unfortunate. I'm not scared of his sparking Raccoon. He doesn't seem to make the smartest choices with sparking Raccoon. So I just straight up challenge him. Let's see if I finish his Raccoon here. Yep, I do. I am not scared of his sparking Raccoon. He has showed me that he gets desperate in sparking. He doesn't make the best choices, and that's what a lot of people do. When they go sparking mode, they get so desperate and thirsty to get their ultimate off. They forget about everything else when you could still do normal things. What he should have done in sparking mode with Raccoon is spam key blasts. There's nothing wrong with spamming key blasts. Don't let that one random guy in the YouTube comments or the random Redditor complaining about how cheesy key blast spamming is and sparking. Don't let them determine your playstyle. Who cares? Key blast spamming is not cheesy. If they hated it, then they should have stopped you from going sparking. Like I stopped his Broly right there from going sparking. He tried it. I dashed up to him. I punished him. And here comes another 2 DP character against my high DP character. He's already almost dead. Makes no difference. Spend that 2 skill points. Now you don't have after image strike. You're dead. You're dead. 2 DP characters are OP. 1 engagement and they're dead. Now here's Buff Roshi. Time is up. I didn't even have to play.
I appreciate it.
Well, GG's to this guy. He didn't rage quit. You would think someone using an entire meta cheesy team would rage quit, but he didn't. So that's good. Anyway, I hope you guys learned something. Like and subscribe.